back to Astarie Apothecary. Welcome to another tutorial video for one of our formulas. This is for the wipe juice, wipe liquid, whatever term you want to use. This is going to be a really quick tutorial. This is what I use for the cloth wipes that I use for my daughter, and it's great even if you don't have a baby. If you work with elderly people and sometimes you can't get them out of the bed for a full bath, you can use this as a way to just give them a nice wipe down. You go camping and you need something quick, anything like that, this works great for that as well. But this is going to be geared more towards babies, so the pH will be adjusted more for baby skin, and it'll be no fragrance, no color, just very gentle, very simple. And it is, like I said, a very quick formula. So let's just get into it. I will say the one change that I am making, normally I use a lavender hydrosol because I don't like to use fragrance, but that adds that fragrance of the lavender without actually being a fragrance oil. And because lavender is supposed to be soothing and calming and help make baby sleepy, but I am out of lavender hydrosol right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and use rose water, which rose water will still be just as great, smell nice, all of that. You can use any hydrosol that you would like. If you're making this for more of an adult, you could add a fragrance if you wanted to. Just take away the percentage of fragrance from your water, and you could do it that way. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, this is a very simple formula. Let me pull up my sheet here. And if you do not already have this formula, I will have a link in the description box below where you can grab it for yourself, along with the other formulas in our baby care line. And if you're just someone who's just watching and you don't want to make it yourself, but you would like to get your hands on some, I do have this in my shop for retail, and you can see that link for that in the description box below as well, along with the other products in the baby line, as well as other formulas and other products, bulk and private label if you are a business owner and you would like to add some products to your line. All of those things you can find linked in the description box below. But let's get started. Obviously, you want to start with sanitized areas, sanitized containers, all of that good stuff. I've already got my container that I'm going to pour mine into. Like I said, I'm just making a refill for myself, so I've already got a container for mine. But obviously, if you're making this to sell, you want to have your containers sanitized and all that good stuff. Now, I am in the room with baby girl, so we'll see if she lets me finish this and stays quiet in the background. So if you hear little noises, that's her. All right, so I'm just going to make an 8-ounce batch, like I said, for my container. So I'm going to start with my distilled water and go ahead and put that in. Like I said, this is a one pot wonder type of recipe. You don't need to heat up anything, and you don't need a whole bunch of crazy ingredients. It's very, very simple. You can use water, you can use hydrosol, you can use aloe liquid. So many ways you can customize this, but I'm just going to keep it very simple. And then I'm going to show you how I use it with my cloth wipes after I finish mixing this. So yeah, I'm just adding in a little of the rose water. Which, like I said, rose water is really nice as well. I like to use the lavender hydrosol to be calming. I use it in all of her products. I also infuse my oils for the lotion that I use for her with lavender, just so it can be a little calming. I don't know if it actually helps or not, but you know, maybe placebo, I don't know. And we're gonna add a little bit of glycerin. The nice part about making it yourself is you can kind of customize it and make it gentle on the skin. Like I said, I'm using a little bit of glycerin. This will help be a little moisturizing and not dry out baby's skin. As we all know, baby skin is a little bit more sensitive than us as adults, and so we want to be as careful as possible with what we put on it and how we take care of it, especially newborns. Their skin is transitioning from the skin that they had in the womb and the vernix that was covering it to skin that can handle the outside world. And You may notice skin peeling when they're infants, 1 or 2 weeks old, skin peeling and baby acne. A lot of that actually comes from just their skin changing. It's not necessarily that they're having a reaction to anything in that young baby stage. It's usually just a result of their skin changing from what it needed to be able to handle the womb with the constant water and the world liquid to now being able to handle this outside world with all types of craziness. So you should see the peeling and all of that die down after a few weeks, but obviously every baby is different, every child is different, and you want to keep an eye on everything. Consult with your baby's physician if you have any questions, but generally 1 or 2, 3 weeks old is just their skin changing. It's not necessarily that they're having a reaction to something, because I've seen that where they're like, oh no, my baby's having a reaction to whatever, and a lot of times it's actually not them having a reaction. I guess I'm talking too loud. It's actually just their skin adjusting. Our skin adjusts as well, and sometimes that causes us to have breakouts or issues with our skin. It's the same sort of concept. So let's see, I just added in my glycerin and I'm just mixing that in. So now I'm gonna add in my surfactant. You can use any gentle surfactant. You don't need anything super high foaming or anything like that. You can use like a decoglucoside, even a cocoa glucoside. I'm gonna use some foaming apple. I absolutely love this surfactant. It's gentle and it just works really, really well. And you don't need a lot. It doesn't need to bubble up or anything like that. This is just to aid in helping you clean up those messes on their little bottoms. And like I said, if you were making this more for like an adult, it's okay, mama. The baby grunts. More for like an adult wipe to help clean them. You could up the surfactant percentage and lower the water percentage a little bit, just so it could be a little bit more cleansing. There's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, I'm just using this for baby, so I don't need, and I'm just using it for wipes. Now I do wipe her down sometimes, but again, I don't need anything super strong. And then last but not least is going to be my preservative. You want to use a broad spectrum water soluble preservative. Obviously this is a water-based formula, and you don't need a lot. Well, the one that I'm using, I only need it at 0.5%. It is my favorite preservative to use because it is so simple. It works in so many different formulations, and it is broad spectrum, which means it covers the gamut of microbes and organisms and all that nasty stuff that can grow in a water-based product. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix that in, and literally that's it. That's it. It's all done. Like I said, I'm going to bring you back and show you how I use this with my cloth wipes. There are multiple ways to use this. I'll just go ahead and go over it a little bit before I go grab those. My bottle has a spray. It comes with a spray lid, so you can grab one wipe, spray it down, or you can do what I do. I put it in a reusable wipe container and I pour a little bit over it so that it dampens the wipes, and use that when I do her diaper changes. You can purchase dry wipes online. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this in my container here. I use baby washcloths. I got tons of baby washcloths and don't really need that many. So, oh, you know what? Nope. I skipped a step. Sorry. What is very, 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 very important with your baby wash is checking the pH. So let me grab a little bit of distilled water. Absolutely important. Baby's skin is a lot more sensitive than ours and more sensitive to the pH. And we want the pH to be about 5.5. It can be a little bit higher, 5.5, maybe 6, but no higher than that. I don't know, there's been some controversy about like tear-free formulas, and I know that some people have the misconception that those formulas are made with a numbing agent. They aren't. What they actually do is adjust the pH to be closer to the pH of natural tears. Now, while the concept of tear-free sounds good, the reality is I would rather my baby cry and I know that I got something in their eyes and I can do something about it, than them not cry and it's in their eyes, and now I don't know that it's in their eyes because they're not crying or they're not affected by it, and now we may have an issue, if that makes sense. But it is very important to make sure that you are adjusting your pH to be in a safe range for baby's skin. So I just have some distilled water. Hopefully you can see that. Let me make sure. I think so. I have some distilled water here where I'm just going to rinse off my pH meter. Because this is a water-based product. Oh, no, you can't see that. Let's move that over. Okay. Because this is a water-based product and it's liquidy, I don't need to dilute it. I can just test it directly in my product here. So I've already calibrated my meter and I just rinsed it off with the distilled water, and now I'm just going to put it in. And this meter, you want to mix it a little bit. And let's see. This one, a little smiley face will pop up when it is okay. So it is at a 6.8. That is way too high for what I want. So I'm going to pause here, go check on baby, and then I will come back and use my citric acid solution to lower the pH. I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're gonna make this quick. So I'm just taking my 50-50 citric acid solution. Don't mind this, I got a little bit on the outside. And I'm going to add 2 drops, just a little bit, to see, okay, maybe 3 drops, how far down that brings it. And let me grab another, oh, here we go. Stir that in. Just want to mix it up, give it about 30 seconds to a minute to actually get into the product. And we're going to check it again. I've already rinsed it off. Press my measure button. Mix it in. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. And we are at right about 5.46. And you know what? I'm going to let it sit there. That works for me. All right, guys, we are back, and now I'm going to show you how I use our wipe juice for my baby. We do cloth diaper, so this makes it so much easier. Instead of having a disposable wipe to throw away and then a diaper that we keep, I just use this, wrap everything up in the cloth diaper, and put it in our wet bag or in my water to soak before I wash them all at once, instead of having 2 separate steps. But like I said, you could also use this for just everyday cleanup, even as baby is older. Maybe they're not in diapers anymore, but you still, you know, are kids, they make messes. You can still use this as you would use a wipe. Anything that you would use to wipe down something, clean up something, you can use it in the same way. Again, if you have like an elderly parent or someone that you're taking care of and you don't give them a full bath every day, this also works great for that. Again, any type of small cleanups, and you are saving a little bit of money instead of buying disposable. So like I said, these are just baby wipes that I received. I'm sorry, not baby wipes, baby washcloths that I received, but I literally received so many of them. So this was perfect. These are not super thick, so they work perfect for this purpose. And I wanted to show you, I did purchase this reusable wet wipe container that I use on the go. And then I also have these wipe containers, these empty wipe containers that I both got from Amazon. I'll link them below. And these are, again, reusable. I have 2 of them. One I keep in the living room, one I keep in the bedroom. I also have 2 of these, but I only use one in our diaper bag. So that's that. And I'm going to show you how I fold our washcloths so they can pop up similar to the way that the wipes pop up. You can do this either direction. You can do this with scraps of old fabric, old t-shirts, anything that will absorb some moisture, you can use this with. So I have, let's see, can you see that? I have the one here, and I'm going to take another one any direction. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to lay it about halfway on the other one, and I'm just going to fold that initial one down. So now I have the one that I put down first, and I have the new one halfway over on that one, and then I'm just going to fold that one over. Alright, so now I have the one I put down first in half, the new one is still open all the way to the other side. And you are just going to take another one, and this one I'm going to lay on that half part that I folded. And I'm going to take that second one and fold it the other way. Basically, you're doing kind of like an accordion with each new rag that you put down. And I'm just going to keep doing that back and forth, until I have a pile that's as big as I want. And basically what you'll find is when you are done, that when you lift this one, it'll pull the other one up just like a regular wipes case. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. No one is coming to inspect your wipe folding techniques. Now these washcloths are a little bit longer than the containers that I have, so I do kind of have to fold them up a little bit, but that's no big deal to me. I am just going to keep folding. I'm going to check and see if this is enough for my container. Like I said, I have 2. And the lid just pops off, and then these just sit right down inside. Like that. So the way that I like to do this, I'm going to do, I think, a couple more wipes though. Alright, I'm going to fold up a couple more here. Like I said, I loved using this as opposed to disposable wipes because, like I said, I can just throw everything in one diaper, roll it all up, and wash it all together, and I don't have to keep buying more wipes. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna go with that. So all I do, and let me make sure that you can see me. Alright, so all I do is I'm gonna take a little bit of the wipe liquid and pour it in the bottom, just a little bit. You don't need a lot. You don't need it to be super damp. You know, wipes that you buy in the store are not super wet, they're just damp. I'm gonna put that on the bottom, and then I'm gonna put these on top so that that bottom can start soaking it up, and then I'm gonna pour a little bit more over the top. in between what I put on the bottom and what I put on the top, they'll soak it up. But what I'm going to do is put the lid on. And it has this nice plastic that will keep everything contained. I mean, obviously you still don't want to be tipping it over, but it seals it very nicely. And I'm going to actually turn it over back and forth. But as it sits in here, you'll see that they will absorb the moisture down in. And even if they don't, you can always just pour a little bit more over. And then I just take that one on the top and pull it up, and you'll see, well, if it'll cooperate, that they'll kind of pop up like regular wipes. So I'm going to put that back in there. And then it's just the same with the portable wet wipe container. I only do a few, and they stay pretty damp inside of there. Obviously, you're not using this as often as what you're using at home. Well, I guess it depends on what what your life is like, how busy you are. And that is that. I'm going to put a little bit of the same thing. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid on the inside. You can do it a couple of ways. Like I said, you can also just take an individual wipe when you need it and spray it and use it that way. Either way works. It just depends on what you need. Since I already sprayed that one down, I will go ahead and use that. And so this has a resealable area, like a Ziploc seal. And like I said, same thing. I'll take a little bit of the liquid and pour it in. It smells so good with that rose water. Ugh. Oh, uh-oh. Made a mess. That's all right. I'm going to use the wipes to get it up. Don't worry, this surface has been sanitized before I started this. And then I'm just going to put that in just like this. Oh, here. Just sliding it in. And I'm going to seal it up and move it around so that that liquid can absorb into these cloths as well. And again, if it's not enough, I can pour a little bit more in, which I probably will do because I'm sure the ones on the bottom soaked up that liquid more than. Close it back and move that around, and bam. This can hook to a stroller or on the side of like a crib if you need instant access. And that is that. So now I've got my wipes all ready for my next few diaper changes or cleanup jobs that I may have for the baby. I have a few more. I'm going to fill up my second container. But that is how I use the wipe juice. This is obviously my individual bottle that I've already gotten wet and stuff. But I hope that this was helpful for you. And again, if you would like the formula for this wipe juice, then you will find a link to that in the description box below. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I have so much more coming. I absolutely love coming up with different formulas for different products and teaching you all how to make them. And I love seeing when everybody makes the different products. And if you do make something from one of my formulas, please tag me on social media. My tag is Formulate with Apothecary. I will leave it in the description below as well. But I would love to see what you do and share your work with my followers. And yeah, I definitely have more to come. If you have any suggestions for any formulas that you would like to see, videos you might want to see me do, leave that in the comments below as well. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Happy formulating.